I started making music, I guess, around the time I dropped out of high school, when I was 16 years old, or 15. I didn't take it really seriously until I was 18 and I started my first band. But it took a long time to really find a real focus. Twin Shadow is kind of many, many years of trying to figure out what I wanted to do musically. And about 4 years ago, Twin Shadow took shape, and or this music took shape, and I was kind of faced with that thing of like, and I did it all by myself without a band. So it was like, do I call this something? Do I just use my name? But it felt like, it feels like a universe of its own. So I just kind of like thought of a name and applied it. So my latest release is now called Eclipse. It started at a cemetery in Los Angeles, a place called the Hollywood Forever Cemetery. I started recording there, I guess it's about almost 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. I was crazy enough to ask for a chapel in a cemetery to record in. They were crazy enough to say yes, and I built a studio inside of this chapel and started recording. It's the first time I really took my time making a record. I spent tons of time just making demos and making songs. I wanted to just really kind of figure out kind of I wanted to find a pattern to follow, which I then found. And this release is a kind of best of like probably 60 songs that I'd written. So this is like 11 songs that what I felt were the best of those kind of that year and a half of work. I think moving around, kind of having kind of a gypsy spirit has been, it's affected my music. I can't pinpoint exactly how. Moving around the United States, it's kind of like sometimes you find state to state, it's very similar and nothing changes. But there are these like little subtleties about being from a place, moving to another place. Obviously moving from a small town to moving to a place like New York, and I spent some time in Boston as well. You're exposed all of a sudden to all of this music, all this culture, all this art, fashion. So I don't know. I've been picking up so much. I'm kind of a sponge, and I really soak in my surroundings. So I was a huge fan of Haim. I think my manager turned me on to them, and I was just like, oh my God, these girls are amazing. And we had them open for us at the Fonda Theater, which is so funny because now they're just like, we just talked about writing a song, and they came over to my house one day. I think we swam more in my pool than we wrote music, but they're so talented. It was so easy working with them, and we just knocked it out pretty fast. I think we had one session in the cemetery and one session at my house. And I always say Baby Haim left her swimsuit at my house, and I still have it in a bag somewhere, which I'll sell on eBay one day. What's next for Twin Shadow is a lot of touring. We're touring the Eclipse tour for this record. And we'll do that for a long time. So that's what's next. But after that, I imagine I'll be working on music again. I'm always working on music, so that's always what's next. You know? Hi, I'm Twin Shadow, and you're watching Grammy Pro.